So today we're going to listen to the dialogue between Martin and Joanna talking about movies. Let's get started.
What did you think of that movie?
It was okay, but I'm not really into big budget movies with a lot of special effects and big name stars.
Oh, you're a film snob. I bet you only watch indie films made on a shoestring budget with low production values.
No, that's not true. I just don't like crowd pleasers that are predictable. I like movies that stretch the imagination and have some artistic value.
You mean you like those weird movies with no plot and a lot of strange characters? They're artsy, but leave you totally confused.
I don't mind some ambiguity, if that's what you mean.
Well, I'm going to see the new Spider-Boy movie next week. I don't suppose you want to come.
Spider-Boy? I've been looking forward to seeing that movie.
But it's a big budget blockbuster.
I can't watch artsy films all the time. Variety is the spice of life, don't you think?
So, Martin begins dialogue by asking Joanna, what did you think of that movie? What was your opinion of that movie? And she says, it was okay, but I am not really into big budget movies. To be into something is to like it, or to find it enjoyable or pleasurable. A budget is the amount of money that you spend on something. Well, usually it's a plan of how much you are going to spend on something. A big budget movie would be a movie that costs very much money. It costs millions and millions of dollars. So Joanna doesn't like big budget movies with a lot of special effects and big name stars. Special effects in a movie or in a television show are things that nowadays are created by computers and computer graphics programs. So you are not actually seeing something that is real. You might think it is real, you might think that a real car is blowing up. Well, sometimes they do blow up cars, but you might see a building which is being blown up. Or when they made the Titanic, the movie, they didn't actually take a real ship and put it into the ocean. I don't think. They used special effects to make it look like that's what you were seeing. Big name stars are famous stars. A star here means well-known actor or actress. Martin says, oh, you're a film snob. What's a snob? A snob is a person who thinks that their opinion, their taste are better than others. So someone who is a snob might say, oh, I never eat at McDonald's. That's what poor people eat. That's for people who don't have very good taste. And we can call that person a food snob. So Joanna is a movie snob, a film snob. Martin says, I bet you only watch indie films made on a shoestring budget with low production value. That word indie stands for independent. It usually we use for music or movies that was made by a small company or group of people. They are independent of big companies, movie companies and film companies. A shoestring budget is a low budget, something that doesn't cost very much money. Production values are the quality of the movie itself. This is about techniques they use to make the movie. The lighting, the sound, the music and the special effects, of course. So Martin thinks that Joanna only likes indie films made on a shoestring budget with low production values. And she says, no, that's not true. I just don't like crowd pleasers that are predictable. Crowd pleaser is something that many or most people like, but that is perhaps not very artistic, especially when it comes to movies. Predictable is something that you can anticipate. You know what's going to happen, there are no surprises. For example, if you're watching a romantic comedy, you know that the man and the woman are going to get together at the end of the movie, and that's predictable. So Joanna doesn't like movies that are predictable. She says, I like movies that stretch the imagination and have some artistic value. To stretch the imagination means to make you think another way, differently, something that is not just normal or common or predictable. And Martin says, you mean you like those weird movies with no plot, no story, and a lot of strange characters, a lot of strange people. They are artsy, but leave you totally confused. When we say a movie is artsy, we mean that it tries to be artistic. Well, maybe it tries a little bit too hard. They are artsy, but leave you totally, completely confused. That means that you are unclear, you are uncertain, you don't really know what exactly happened in the movie. And that's what I thought about the movie called Cloud Atlas. When I saw it for the first time, I was kind of confused by the whole things. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention, or maybe I didn't have enough Coca-Cola the day I saw that movie, but didn't really get it. Anyway, Martin thinks that movies that Joanna likes would leave you totally confused. Joanna says, I don't mind some ambiguity, if that's what you mean. Ambiguity is something that is not exactly clear. It can have two or more meanings at the same time, and you don't really know what exactly has happened. Martin says, well, I'm going to see the new Spider-Boy movie next week. I don't suppose you want to come. That expression, I don't suppose, is very common. Usually we use this phrase to ask someone something when we think that we already know the answer. For example, I go up to a beautiful woman and say her, I don't suppose you want to dance with me. And she says, here, on the bus station? Probably not. Anyway, Joanna says, Spider-Boy? I've been looking forward to seeing that movie. That means that she wants to go and see the movie. Martin says, but it is a big budget blockbuster. A blockbuster is a movie that is very popular and makes a lot of money. The movie called Hunger Games, the second one, the new one, this is a blockbuster. This is kind of film that is gonna make, $1 billion. So Joanna says, I can't watch artsy films all the time. And Martin, of course, is surprised that she wants to go and see the movie. She says, variety is the spice of life. Don't you think? That expression, variety is the spice of life, means doing new things or trying new things, different things, is good for you. It is interesting. It makes your life more interesting. That's it. Thank you for listening. Now let's listen to the dialogue again.